Mr. Bayo Onimode.
Good morning, everyone. I'm well happy to be here. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. My name is Bayo Onimode. I'm a member of the National Executive Council of NCS, as well as a member of the Council of Computer Professionals Registration Council of Nigeria, CPA. I bring you greetings from the National President and the National Executive Council of Nigerian Computer Society, specifically the Abuja chapter, students, staff, and management of Cosmopolitan University, and of course, our very good partner, Young Innovators of Nigeria. A round of applause for them, please. Today, the world is marking the CIFA Day. And the theme for this year is Together for a Better. You're a business person, you're a student, you're a professional, whatever it is. Everybody needs to be safe while on the internet. The aim basically is to promote safer and more responsible use of online technologies and digital communication. While I just walked in, I would say probably I missed the most juicy part of the speech that was delivered by our mommy here. But for everyone who had listened to her talk, I think there is something to take home. Be it acting responsibly and safely while online, or while interacting with peers and colleagues. Acting responsibly, especially for those of us who are very young, and don't look at me as someone who is old here. For those of us who are very young, acting responsibly and not taking part in those acts that could affect us negatively, I think it's not a responsible thing to do. And thus I will say, for Nigerian Computer Society, YN and Cosmopolitan University to put this event together, I would say it's very timely, and I will say, I think they deserve a round of applause. While we listen to all the good speeches and possibly some good refreshment that will come along with it, please, let's all continue to stay responsibly while online. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bayo. Please, can we join our hands together again to thank him and clap him for him? All right. Don't worry, I'll soon be out of your way. Okay, before we move into the next program, line of item, we all listened to what our mommy presented to us, and it is our individual responsibility to be responsible for how we behave, how we interact on the internet, and in terms of the kind of drugs we are exposed to. It is our personal responsibility, because you can't take responsibility for somebody. Everybody here, I'm sure, we are above 16, 17 years of age, and I believe that we are old enough to take responsibility when it comes to drugs and the use of the internet. So we'll be having a very good panel session where we'll be hearing some of our speakers speak to us on this subject matter, and an opportunity for you to ask them questions and make contributions. So the topic before us is combating misinformation of drug abuse and online threats, the role of technology and legislation. Where's Mr. Victor? Please take your seat. Mommy, ma, before you go, you still join us. Thank you, ma. Please, let's welcome. No. Let's welcome our mommy back to the high table. Please, okay. Let's welcome Mr. Papa Lawal to the high seat. Okay, I'll sit in the middle. Thank you very much. So, thank you very much. All right. Our mommy is rushing somewhere, but I would just like her to speak to one or two on that topic. That is combating misinformation of drug abuse and online threats, the role of technology and legislation.
Yeah, it's true that I've been in NDLA for some time, and this time that technology came out, it's been like people want to withdraw from, the one we see, because we have already tried to clamp down on many of them. So they are now using the technology as a better place to do it, so that nobody will be able to, find out exactly on time. But we too, we have gone, deeper into it, because that deceives, that misinformation, it deceives a lot of our youths. Usually we used to say peer pressure physically, but now it's not, it is on net. I want to be like them. If you are not there, you are not there. You are not like them. It's not working. And so people now go into experimentation. And before you know it, it's late to come out. Because the drug stuff is a mental issue. It's from the brain. And so when you enter on your own. But you may not have the willpower to come out, because it's really affecting the brain. And so in this technology era, we should be able to speak to our children. We should also be able to speak to ourselves. You are responsible for what happens to you tomorrow. And it is your behavior today that will lead you to tomorrow. So I advise that you make better use of today. This technology has areas that are, moving us forward as better people. Don't use the area of misinformation. Get focused as students and come out as better people. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So, mommy want to leave. I don't know if you have any question for her. Thought they say you should not go, but mommy has to go somewhere. So, do I have anybody who has a question from the audience for her before I allow her to go?
Yeah, thank you very much. And again, for anyone who listens to the news, you know that NDLA has now been in our faces more than we used to know of them before. And they're not just been in our faces, there are lots of crackdowns, big names, like exist in those ones. Man, can you tell us, possibly if there are roles, specific roles that technology have played in all of this mega crackdown by the NDA. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, in NDLA, technology has really helped us because some things that we do in NDLA in our fight against drug abuse, especially even in enforcement, having to get them, we have used technology in different areas to be able to get them even earlier than it used to be. You know, because even in our going after the drug abusers, when you enter into the maybe Facebook, TikTok and all of them, we have officers directly working in that area. And it's easier for us to get them. And they have been working in that area. I don't know if I have answered what you...
Thank you very much, ma'am. Mommy, one of the students has one question for you, and I won't allow you to go without allowing her to ask that question. Yes. Please tell us your name and your department and your question.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. I'm Sultana.
Okay.
As you said,
What department?
sir,
What department?
cyber security.
All right. Go ahead.
As you said, how does peer pressure affect drug abuse? Peer pressure.
Affect drug abuse.
Thank you. It's just as simple as you can know what the meaning of peer pressure is. We are two friends, and my friend, we have been doing things together, and my friend is already in abusing drugs. It is easier for him or her to bring me into it because you have been with that person for long. And because you do not want to leave their peer, you want to make sure that everything you do pleases him or her, and it gradually lures you into drug abuse. I don't know if I have answered your question.
Mommy, thank you very much. We are going to continue after Mommy leaves. We want to have a good photograph with Mommy, then we'll allow her to go, then we continue so that I can take other questions from my guest here. Is that okay? Please, a round of applause for Mommy. She has done a brilliant job this morning. Thank you. So, good photograph. Please, what is the order? Prof, doctor. Please come. Let's do it quickly. Doctor. Mr. Andrew, come now. Thank you, Mommy, for coming.
No.
All right, please, let's continue very quickly. So my next question will goes, thank you very much, ma, for having us, for joining us. All right, my next question will go to Mr. Victor Idono. Now, we want to talk about combating misinformation of drug abuse and online threats using technology. You will agree with me that some of our young people now uses this same technology to promote, to propagate drug abuse, right? Share with us, how can technology be used to track these people down? I give you an example. Some of these are big shots. You see them on Instagram, smoking so many things. Am I correct? Am I correct? So how can we use technology to legitimately track them down? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that question. Please, whatever information I will share here is for knowledge sake. Don't try to use it as a cover for another set of illegal activity. So first of all, how can we use technology to track down the abuse of drugs on the internet? I'll give us an example. On the internet, we are on Facebook, TikTok, name it. Same way you are on the internet, there are also security agencies, law enforcement officers that are also on the internet, posing to be similar young persons like you. Do we understand that? In other words, if you're on the internet, whatever that individuals are smoking, or whatever they are showing off on social media, there are also law enforcement agencies, officials, officers who are also utilizing technology, same internet, same social media, to monitor the life activities of these persons. In fact, there are cases where they would come up and pose like they want to sell or buy from you or to you. So for individuals, young persons who are using the internet to purchase these things, you may end up buying from a law enforcement officer who, in the long run, will definitely track you down. Or you may end up, if you are a seller, you may end up selling to an officer. So with technology, drug abuse can be combated using these means to track users, to monitor the lifestyle of persons who are posing or posting similar content on social media. We will all agree that there are persons who don't really smoke, but they can pose to be heavy smokers on the internet just to drive traffic, but indirectly they're actually harming a lot of other young people out there. So it's important for us as young people to identify, if you see such people, such accounts, you should desist away from them. In fact, I would recommend, don't even comment, because you commenting is like you clapping for, as they say it, a madman that is dancing. If a madman is dancing and you're clapping for him, are you yourself not a madman? So, in other words, you commenting and hyping drug abusers, you are also contributing to that. And a way to track that using technology is what I just explained to you. Thank you.
Please, a round of applause for him. So, coming to you, sir, I understand that you are a financial expert. Am I correct? Very correct. And I want us to explore your expertise in dealing with this topic. I do believe that beyond this environment, a lot of people are engaged in purchasing data to do all of these things. And can you give us some understanding from your experience as an expert in finance, budgeting, do you think that as a nation we have invested a lot in the use of technology? We have invested in legislation to see how we can combat misinformation of drug abuse and online threat. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, what I want to say is young people should be mindful of them being used to launder drug money.
Hold on, sir. Did you hear him? Because you are not listening.
Young people should be mindful of being used to launder drug money. Most of us here, if not all, have a bank account. An ordinary request, can you give me your bank account? Oh, my friend wants to send me money. Oh, you know this, that. And without knowing, because you will never know, you release your bank account to a friend, and all of a sudden, your accounts that only receive your pocket money, money from uncles and everything, millions of naira start passing through it. And immediately it comes in, oh, it tells you, oh, and we can even, and my friend says, I should give you 100,000 out of the 10 million naira. A partly 100,000 for 10 million naira should actually tell you something is not right. But you are so engrossed in it. The 10 million naira may not come in a single transaction or in a single transfer, because what they've done is they've come into this school, they've distributed drugs, and your account is the receiving account. All of a sudden, in a single month, you're having a turnover of 10 million naira. I want each and every one of you to know today, your account is being seen. Once you have an account and it has a BVN linked to it, every transaction you do, the full stamp is with it. Your account will be blocked, you'll be prosecuted, and you'll be sent to jail. One, you have destroyed your own life. Two, you have brought disgrace to your. And let me tell you something. In our own environment here in Nigeria, you may never be able to get a job, and you may never be able to transact anything with anybody. You'll be stigmatized. Unlike another client that they will give you, our prison does not reform you. You are supposed to go to prison to be reformed. So you must know what you are doing. The other thing I used to tell young people is don't be in a hurry to be an adult. Because once you become an adult, you will be an adult all your life. Don't be in a hurry to make money, because you will make money all your life. Now, technology is in your hand. Your phones that you carry all over the place, that is the information technology that you carry about. You go to so many sites and you put a like or a repeated site. There is what they call cache. I'm sure most of you will know it. It's called cache. Some sites will pop up. If you don't agree with their cache, you are not allowed to continue browsing. Some will not even give you an option of do you agree or do you want limited. They just want you to do a cache. What a cache does is everything you like, it records it. At the back end, whoever is looking at that software, can see everybody that has come into his platform, what people call app, and is able to decide what you like and what you don't like. And that is the beginning of your recruitment. Some of us are in this hall physically, but I bet you are not with us here. Because you are so engrossed on your phone and whatever you are doing. So make use of the phone for knowledge, for creativity, innovation, and invent. Don't be a user alone. Thank you very much.
All right, I can understand that we are almost out of time, but I would like to take one or two contributions from the audience, especially from our guests, if they have one or two to say to us. Anybody? Any contribution? Do you have any contribution? Prof, how can we use artificial intelligence to combat, because artificial intelligence is still part of technology now. So can you give us an insight on how we can administer AI to track misinformation and all of that against drug abuse and online threats? Let's hear your voice, your view.
Thank you very much for this recognition. As much as we understand that artificial intelligence is used in a good way, artificial intelligence also used in another way around. And the fear we have is that the artificial intelligence in professional environment and in education, agriculture, and energy sustainability. So having this event today even widen my understanding. In the past, I'm looking at artificial intelligence to be a way to track malicious activity, fraudulent activity, and other things related to technology on the internet. But now, I see it the other way around. By understanding the behavior of the people and trying to use trying to use the method and track, or rather, what's the best way to use? Rather than just monitoring, but brainwashing our young ones not to take drugs. There is a link between the drug abuse as well as the cybercrime. The research has shown that, and also money laundering. Most of the time, the money launderers uses the cyber security things, and they use to keep their activity going, as well as the drug. So if we can use the artificial intelligence, somebody mentioned about the dark web. I didn't know that people know about the dark web. I know about the dark web for ages, more than a decade. And I didn't know that people are aware about it, because this is my field. And at first I didn't believe that the dark web exists, and the activity in the dark web is still, So I rather don't even talk about it, because by the time you talk about something, this is the time that people want to know what it is. So in an event like this, we don't need to talk about it. But there is something we are working on the background, trying to understand the people, especially our youth one, and how can we demotivate them from getting into drugs? How can we identify those activities on the online, whether on social media and all that, that are linked to recruiting our youth into the drug and social, cybercrime? How can we recruit them back to be a human being for tomorrow, to be a good leaders tomorrow. So we are working on a background, looking at a strategy way and the frameworks on the use of artificial intelligence in tracking. And I will add this into our next meeting we had for this framework, so that we can look at it. It is quite important because you can build a house, but if you don't have a right security measure or the right safety measure, the house can be destroyed in 1 second when you have explosive, right? So we don't want to have a situation whereby we build a house and then it is destroyed in a second. Thank you very much.
It's good to have a professor in the house. He has further taken us deeper into the conversation. And I believe that aftermath will be sure that the understanding that has been given from here will further provide insight on more research area in this regard, particularly infusing artificial intelligence. Thank you very much, Prof, for that contribution. Do we have any more contribution? If we don't have, we need to move. All right. At this point, I need to say thank you to my panelists for taking all your time to come at the very short notice, especially Mr. Baba, and I really appreciate your in-depth understanding of the application of your expertise in demystifying this topic for us. So please, if there is any area you must not go into, don't be allowed to be used for money laundering when it comes to drug. On this note, I'd like to bring this panel to a close. Please, a round of applause for all my panelists. Thank you. A round of applause for them. Ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to invite to this podium Mr. Isibon to guide us on the breakout session.
Good morning, everyone. So we are going into the breakout session. But the way we're going to do it is simple. We actually have 3 topics for the breakout session. So we're going to divide ourselves into 3 groups, right? Probably we're going to do it maybe row by row, so that we don't scatter the arrangement. So in that way, the first topic here is data protection. So probably here, we'll handle that here. Then internet governance, those of you here will handle that. And then malwares for social engineering mitigation, we'll handle that here as well. Okay, well, I've just been informed because of time, probably we'll just sit where we are and we'll just collectively. So let me retake the topics again. We have data protection for cross-border data transfer. We have internet governance, and malwares for social engineering mitigation. At the same time, I think while I was seated, right, he said, so we're going to be, at the same time, we're going to be sharing refreshment for, at least for you to cool your, we're going to be sharing refreshment for, at least for you to cool your nerves a little. So, lead these sessions for data protection for cross-border data transfer to be led by my humble self. Internet governance will be led by Engineer Chidi Ogubulam. Malware for social engineering mitigation. I don't think the speaker is available at the moment, but okay. Mr. Victor Idono will handle that. So let's not actually waste time. Data protection for cross-border transfer. Right? Have we heard of the word data protection before? Anybody? Data protection. Well, just as the sentence is, data protection is actually a process for us to have our data being protected so that we don't have our identity at risk for any reason. We have entities or we have features that are used to describe us. You want to fill a form today, an online form. What do you see, right? You see features like name, date of birth, NIN. Some people go as far as that. But in that regard, right, all these features that are being used to identify you can also be used to steal your identity, right? We've been talking about safer internet here. Most times, we go on platforms that we are asked to fill in our data. And in such cases, this data is actually stored somewhere. Now, it will shock you to know that a majority of websites, whether you see the website as a Nigerian website or a foreign website, don't have these data centers here in Nigeria. So this your data is actually saved outside this country, right? So just like the topic said, data protection for cross-data transfer, what are the processes and the procedure you need to know to help you curb the menace of your identity being stolen in the case of a data transfer, right? I believe we go on websites, we see, when you open a website, the first thing you see, they'll say, read our data privacy policy. I don't know how many people actually read that. I'm actually guilty of that until I think a couple of years back, and I take my time to just go through the whole thing to know what they're doing. But let me just break it down for you. What that data privacy policy does is that it outlines the fact that whatever platform needs your consent to gather your data and to even process your data, right? It also outlines how your data is going to be processed, how long your data is going to be stored, right? And what type of data they want to collect from you. And it might also interest you to know that there is also a mechanism, or there's also an option for you to opt out, right? If, for example, now I believe we all get emails. Then in an email, let's say a marketing email, they'll tell you, click here to unsubscribe. That unsubscription button is an option for you to opt out of that service. So when you read the data privacy policy, these are the things that you see outlined out there. So it's actually very good. You might not read everything. Just go through it and just get the main things you need to get there, right? So these are all what you need to know. You have to understand what that data privacy policy is saying. And once you agree to go ahead with that, you have now given the processor a consent to go ahead with your data. So you should also know that in all of these things, you as a data subject, you and I are all data subjects, we have our own rights. And what are the rights? If you feel you are not okay with what a certain platform is doing, you can go ahead to probably opt out, like I said, or you find a way to report the case to the requisite authority. In Nigeria, we have what they call the Nigerian Data Protection Commission, right? And there is a rule guiding how people's data are being collected, processed, and even stored in Nigeria. And that is called the Nigerian Data Protection Act, which was signed in 2023. It may interest you to know that that was actually the first bill President Bola Tinubu signed when he came into office, to tell you how important such practices are. So when we talk about data protection for cross-border now simply means you are taking your data outside the shores of your country, which happens to us almost every time. Because why? We are always online, filling one form from one platform outside the country. And like I said, even if it's a Nigerian website, is your data stored here in Nigeria. So please, it's actually important for us to take note of this, right? And we should actually know our rights after that subject. I can't delve into it now because of time. It's actually a whole lot. But I would like you to know that you have the right for what? To access your data in any regard. You have the right to say, I don't want my data to be processed again. That's what they call the right to what? Erasure or deletion. If a certain platform is not doing well with your data, you can say, okay, I want my data to be erased from your system. That is where you have to opt out. Right? So I will leave here for the next speaker, but I will leave with this. They say data is the new oil. Right? And you know how oil costs a lot of trouble. In short, any place that has oil is always has some form of back and forth. So please, if you know how oil has caused catastrophe in the world, you know that you have to manage your data appropriately. So treat your data with all form of security. Thank you very much. So I will take the stage to Engineer Chidi to come and talk about internet governance. Later that we can probably take questions if needed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Isi. Standing on the existing protocol, my name is Engineer Chidi. I'm a member of Young Innovators of Nigeria. And I want to talk about internet governance. So when we talk about internet governance, we talk about development and implementation of policies, laws, regulations, guidelines that shape the internet. It actually takes a multi-stakeholder approach, meaning that governments, civil society organizations, tech communities, and companies all come together to make these laws, to make these regulations, so that we can have a safer internet. There have been a lot of issues about who governs the internet, who should own the internet. But like we said, it's a multi-stakeholder thing. America cannot say they own the internet. China cannot say they own it. Nigeria cannot say they own it. Because it's an open and global network. That's why there is a lot of issues about what should be a law on the internet. China have their own private law, America have their own private law. Nigeria have their own private law, just like the last speaker spoke about the data regulation. The data regulation law, especially as it concerns cross-border of Nigeria, is different from that of another country. That's why governing the internet is very hard, because the law that this country permits may be against the law that another country permits, even though we exchange data or consume what comes out from that other country. There are a lot of issues concerning internet governance, but because of time, I will limit it to only content moderation, since we are talking about safer internet. So what we call content moderation is, what content do you allow, or what content are you consuming? Is it what you want to consume? What will be the effect on you? We see that most times you want to browse for another thing, and another thing pops up on your screen. That is content. I also look at one of the dangerous contents. We have discussed about drugs. I also want to talk about pornography. It's a very dangerous content, especially for the youth. So looking at, we have majority of youth here, that's why I decided to choose that part, so that you can know about it. It's very dangerous. It is addictive, just like cigarettes and other drug abuse. So you need to be watchful. It takes a gradual approach. The first day you see it, you look at it. You didn't like it, you skip. Another day it pops up. You say, what is this safe? You look at it. Your teacher is coming, you hide it. You're beginning to like it too. Next time you watch it, you bookmark it. Next time you watch it and you smile, your conscience is telling you that this is bad, but you don't know what is pushing you to want to watch it more and more and more and more. It's a dangerous content, and when we talk about content moderation, we talk about how you regulate what you watch, giving you the power over what you watch. Because like I said, internet is a free place. There is no law so far. There is no standard regulation so far that is imposed on every user because of the multi-stakeholder approach that I mentioned earlier, that nobody owns the internet. That's why it is kind of free and porous. So what should I do about content moderation? There are 3 ways to moderate content. One of them is proactive content moderation. The other one is reactive content moderation. And the other one is community moderation. Proactive means that someone have already pre-informed you what to expect when you are going to the internet and have advised you not to. Or rather, you have made the decision within yourself that I'm not going to watch no pornography. So what do? You place some measures to help you prohibit that content from coming into your device in the first place. That is proactive. You have taken the initiative to stop that content before it even gets to your device. Then we have reactive moderation, whereby you are not aware that such thing can come in, or even though you are aware, but you've not done anything to stop it. But anytime you see it, you remove it, and then you flag the source. If there is a particular website that is sending it to you, you block them. That is a reactive content. Then the one we call community moderation is where such thing pops up and everybody is flagging it down. As you continue to flag it down, Google or other regulators can decide to stop that content from coming up the next time. It can even be your browser, the AI is in your browser. When they know that you're always flagging this thing down, they won't allow it to come up again. So we call those ones community moderation. There are a lot of contents that you can regulate. One of them is illegal contents like hate speech, like child exploitation, and like pornography, like I've mentioned. We also have misinformation and disinformation. We see something like false news. We see something like deep fakes. Like last week, or is it last 2 weeks, someone made a picture of, is it a video or a picture? Yul Edochie's wife, and what's that comedian name? Did anybody watch AY? And it was trending. That is a deep fake, but the fake was so deep that you may not even know that it's fake because it's a video. So you will see 2 of them coming together, but it's not real. So such contents are hurtful if you are the victim. So we need to watch out for this disinformation and illegal contents. One of the reasons why there has been no superior regulation that can stop these contents from flying, one of them is freedom of speech. So everybody has freedom to say or do whatever they want to do online. Like I told you, there's no regulation because nobody owns the internet. Then there is no global standard. Every local have their own law, like Nigeria have their own law. If you take the issue of gayism, America promotes it, America allows it, but Nigeria and some other countries don't allow it. So in our area it's prohibited, in their area it's not prohibited. So contents from there can cross-border fly into your device. So that's the reason why these things exist, but you can control them. I want to mention some of the tools that you can use to control these contents from coming to your device. For a youth like us, you can get NetNanny. It's an application. Some of these things I've mentioned here, some of them work at your browser level. So you activate them at your browser and they start working. Some of them are applications you can download and install in your device and they activate anytime you are online. So NetNanny will block harmful websites and filter bad contents like pornography. So you make those settings that I don't want to see no pornography, I don't want to see nobody smoking drugs. Just list the things you don't want to see, including deepfakes. It to block them from coming to your device. They call it Net Nanny. You can take note of that. We also have CoStudio. CoStudio provides content filtering and screen time management. Another safer internet best practice is your screen time management. Some persons spend all their day, I don't want to say all their life, on screen. Sometimes somebody will just wake up in the morning, he keep on pressing device until he's late for school. Sometimes you come to school, the first lecture have taken place, you are waiting for the next lecturer, and you find yourself in one corner, your eyes on your device. Before you raise your head up, you see other students are going home. That's when you now know that, is it 4 o'clock yet? CoStudio will help you manage your screen time. So you say, I want to use 30 minutes today on screen. Once it's 30 minutes, it will shut down your screen so that you know that you're supposed to keep your eyes off your screen. Screen time management is very important, not just for youth students, even to families, individuals, workers, every human being. Nowadays, we seem to live on screen, so we need to manage time, and CoStudio can help us do that. We also have Back. So Back will help you, it's also a filtering system. Some contents like bullying, some content like peer pressure. Someone asked a question about peer pressure. Back can help you manage those ones. Then that's for individuals. Then for young ones who usually maybe use their mommy's device, or they just have an account but they are minors, they are not up to teen age. You can use Go Guardian. So Go Guardian monitors and filters online content for children in nursery and primary school. That's those that are not up to teen age, who may not know what is right and what is wrong. As an adult, we know what is right and what is wrong. Even though we are talking about drug abuse and pornography, you can decide that that's what you want because you're an adult, even though you know there's a consequence. But a child may not know the consequence, so he will think it's fun. Some of the cartoons that children watch need revisiting. Well, I'm not talking to mothers and fathers here, so I may reserve that one. So you need to watch it, and Go Guardian can help you do that. We also have CleanFed. CleanFed that one is already enforced by the UK government. So they use it to block child exploitation, especially cross-border child exploitation. If your app or your websites have contents that exploit children, the CleanFed will stop you. Finally, we have enterprise and workplace content moderation. So for organizations, you can use Cisco Umbrella. So that Cisco Umbrella blocks malicious domains and phishing pages with harmful contents from coming into your organization's website or even to your private device, because if they get you, they have gotten your organization. They just need to get one person in that organization and everybody is down. We also have Branda. It's also a web security filter. It protects businesses from malware, and then it filters network traffic. So there are some sites that are harmful when you open them. So this Barracuda will help you to protect it. So these are a few of the things that we need to know because of time. I don't need to take all the time. We mentioned about internet governance, that there are rules and regulations and laws that guide the internet. But why there is no standard one is because it's not one person that owns the internet. It has a multi-stakeholder approach. But because we are talking about safer internet, we look at one of the problems that we should tackle to have a safe internet. And one of them is content filtering. And we have said that you can proactively protect yourself from contents coming into your system by stopping them before they come. You can also do a reactive one, whereby when they come, you block it. There can also be a community one where everybody keep on flagging this content down until God will remove it. We also mentioned some software that you can integrate in your device to help you manage content, to help you manage your screen time, and to help you keep children safe. So thank you very much as you ponder over these things so that we all have a safe internet.
Good afternoon once again. How are we? Are we sleeping? Are we tired? We're tired. Okay, I want to believe the session we're going to go into will be kind of fun and interesting. We send messages on WhatsApp, true or false? If you send messages on WhatsApp, kindly indicate. Have you sent a message on WhatsApp using once view only? Because you want it hidden, right? I think we are beginning to have some level of disagreement. I have sent a message on WhatsApp because I want this person to view that message, that image, that video only once. Raise your hand. It's safe, right? The person can view it only once, right? I'll be talking about malware, social engineering, and mitigation. A good number of us, we're young people, we are youths. We'll talk about pornography, we'll talk about drug abuse, and peradventure, your colleague, your friend, or your peers have advised you or told you that you can actually send any video, any image, be it nude, and you can put it on one's view, and by that, the recipient will only view it once, and he or she will not be able to view it again. I'm here to tell you that that is false. In other words, all the videos and pictures you have sent to anybody with one's view, all of them can be recovered in less than 3 seconds. If you want us to give it a try, someone should bring up his or her mobile phone. Let's try it here and now. Yes, anybody? We're here to disrupt what you've known. Cybersecurity goes beyond what we hear. Let's actually go practicing all of the things that are being said. If you have been sending any image, any video to anybody with one's view, I'm here to tell you that in less than 3 seconds, that image, that video can be recovered from your device, from the recipient's device. In other words, it is not actually one's view. It is right there on your phone. It is right there on the recipient's phone. Remember, when you receive the video, the image, you download it first, right? And it says to your mobile device, only that you can't view it a second time. In reality, it's sitting right in your phone. So for those of us sharing whatever kind of video, if anybody is telling you as a young person, send me a video of you, send me a picture of you, or write something in a text box, screenshot it, I love you and all of that, and you send as one's view, you're not safe. So let's get started. Any question? Any question? Okay, so moving forward, with regards to the topic, malware, social engineering, and mitigation, I'll be touching 3 of them. The first one will be malware. With the advent of internet, with the advent of technology, a good number of us were exposed to the internet on a daily basis. In fact, we'll all agree that in today's world, there's practically little or nothing you can do without involving the internet. Do we agree? You're communicating, you're using the internet. In fact, today, telecom providers are no longer promoting you buying airtime to make calls. Rather, they are promoting buying data so you can send messages, videos, while you can multitask while using data. So, there is this trend that everything we do has something to do with the internet. Even the little kiosk guy selling beside your house is now using internet for his business transactions. Do we agree? If you go there, they are using POS to collect payment. They are using point of sale system to sell their goods, their products, and they are using WhatsApp to even communicate. Maybe you bring a particular brand to them, they will snap it and send it to their supplier. Hello, please, do you have this? The supplier will respond a yes or a no, and we decide a dissemination time. So let's look at malwares. Malwares are malicious applications that can make your device to malfunction or to act in a way that you do not intend. So whatever be the intent, it can slow down your PC, it can steal your data, it can be installed on your device, on your mobile, tablet, whatever it is a malware. And there are different types of malware. We have viruses, we have worms, we have Trojans. Maybe, let me just touch a few of them. Viruses replicate themselves. They replicate themselves. Trojans disguise, they act like they are helping you. How many of us have installed, you are trying to install a calculator, but your calculator is requesting access to your contacts? Why is a calculator app requesting access to your contact? Why is a calculator app requesting access to your GPS location to enable your GPS? Do we understand these things? So that can be a form or a sign of a Trojan attack. So moving forward, section 2 will be looking at social engineering. Because of our frequent use of the internet, we meet different persons every day on the internet, and they are providing us with different links, with different information, and sometimes you wonder, how are people getting your BVN, your account number? But somehow you also forgot that there was a time you saw a link telling you that the federal government is giving 50,000 naira to everybody as COVID-19 or as palliative to all Nigerians. Fill in your account details so you receive free 50,000 naira. And everybody will rush to fill. How many of us have filled those kind of forms? Online. Okay, have we seen? We've seen those kind of forms. Now we are all agreeing that nobody has filled, Abi. In reality, you are the one supplying them your information. That is what we call phishing. Someone can gain access to your account, your name, your BVN, your NIN, and at the end of the day, they will still call you back, telling you that maybe, okay, have we been in a WhatsApp group and you receive a message and a call telling you that there's a Zoom meeting for 7 p.m., a code will be sent to you shortly. That is a customized code for you. How many of us have received that kind of a code or call? Yes, we received it, and it's a phishing attack. Phishing attacks aim to collect information from you. You will willingly, happily give out your personal information without you knowing that you're actually giving it to a malicious attacker. So that is phishing. Because of time, I will just simply go through all of this. There are different areas of phishing. There's smishing, there's phishing. Smishing deals with SMS. Phishing can be internet-based, web-based, etc. Phishing deals with a voice call. If I put up a call and call you, hey, there's a meeting for 7 p.m., please, a code will be sent to you right now. Give me the code so we can customize your Zoom meeting link. In reality, that person might be trying to log in into one of your accounts. Or he might even be trying to switch your WhatsApp from your device to his own personal device. So as much as possible, it is our responsibility to understand these tactics and ensure we do not fall prey to any of them, especially as young people. You're meeting different persons on the internet, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, as the case may be. You are likely also going to be meeting scammers. You're also likely going to be meeting persons who are willing to defraud you, right? There's this thing for, like one of the speakers mentioned. There was a case where someone met someone online, a friend. They were chatting and communicating, and over time, he told the person that, I want to send you money, but if I send you the money, you will transfer a certain percentage to someone who is also my friend, but because I trust you so much, I don't want to send the money directly to the person. And this person actually willingly gave his account. Upon giving his account, the money was actually transferred to her, not knowing that that was actually a ransom for a kidnap. She received the money, and the next thing is, she was receiving authorization on who to send the money to based on, we trust you, that's why we are giving you the money. So send to this person, send to this person, send to that person. And that was how the dissemination was happening. In reality, when they were tracing the criminal, when they were investigating the case, they actually track it to that individual. So as much as possible, don't provide your account to anybody, be it online or offline, to use your account for any kind of financial transactions. Is that okay? Even persons requesting you to please give me your phone, I want to quickly make a call. You don't know the intent of that call. So as much as possible, let's take these things seriously and avoid any form of attacks. So moving straight to to the best practices, always verify information before you deal with anybody. If you're going to be communicating with anybody, it's possible someone's WhatsApp account has been hacked and he's calling you to quickly send something that he's stranded, please send me money, I want to do XYZ. As much as possible, verify the person's information and identity before you engage in any form of transaction. Next is, as much as possible, use secure connections. We don't want to go into malwares, we don't want to go into Wi-Fi attacks, wireless attacks. A good number of us, we like using free Wi-Fi, true or false? It's when you see free Wi-Fi, all the movies you've saved, you want to start downloading. You are also prone to malicious attacks using open free Wi-Fi or public Wi-Fi. Next is monitor your accounts, monitor your emails. How can you tell if your email attack has been compromised? If you begin to see emails you have not opened and they are showing they've been read, that is a sign that some other person is managing that email account with you. So as much as possible, pay attention to these details, right? Next is ensure you use reputable sources, which is your internet, then always stay informed. Learning never stops. As much as possible, keep learning, keep updating yourself, and keep safe. It's a safer internet day. For those of us that have sent one message or the other using one's view mode, please disengage from it. Remember, what goes to the internet never leaves the internet. You're young now, in the next 2 years, you don't know where you will be. It's possible the one's view picture or video you sent to someone, the person has saved it and it will resurface sometime in the future. So as much as possible, always avoid such. Is that okay? Thank you all. Any question for me? All right, sir.
The question I don't know, it was meant for the first speaker, but since it's not really available, maybe you really kindly respond. I want to first thank you and thank the organizers of this program, because it's indeed an eye-opener. We are well informed. It's common that knowledge or information is power. If you are not informed, definitely there is deformity somehow. So bringing this kind of information to this kind of environment is quite commendable. And I would urge both the Nigerian Computer Society as well as youth innovators of Nigeria to continue in this regard. So my question has to do with that statement that we are being monitored. Everything going online is being monitored. And sometimes, or some other times, we hear that if you do anything on WhatsApp, it's end-to-end encrypted. Nobody is aware. Nobody knows about it. And even you now, you have said that what was presupposedly to be viewed once can still be recorded. So, amidst all these complexities, what will be your advice? Is there anything really safe on the internet? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for that question, sir. With regards to safety on the internet, as much as possible, there is a simple policy. Whatever you don't want to be publicly shared, don't transfer over the internet. No matter the channel you're using, be it email, be it WhatsApp, in as much as you don't want this thing to go public, best mode, don't transfer over the internet. Are we together? So as much as possible, whatever you share on the internet, sometimes with regards to WhatsApp, yes, WhatsApp is end-to-end encrypted. That is what they are promoting. That might be the case. But how are WhatsApp messages extracted in the case of an investigation or in the case of a crime? If I gain access to your WhatsApp, to your mobile phone, all information to you, your communications have been end-to-end encrypted, right? But the moment I gain access to your mobile device, encryption is gone because the device is opened. There was this case at the international level where even Mark Zuckerberg had to tell you that CIA can gain access to your WhatsApp messages. In order to proceed, he further said that when and if they have access to your phone. Is that fine? So in other words, your phone might be safe with you, your conversations might be safe with you when your mobile device is with you. What if in a situation you misplace your phone? What happens? Are your communications still safe? It means a third party can get access to them. It means what you hold there, what you think has been end-to-end encrypted, some other person can get access to it. Bypassing your phone security might not be that difficult. How about our systems? Your laptop is safe and secure, right? You are using password on your laptop. Am I right? What if I tell you that in less than 3 minutes, I can bypass the password on your PC? Bypassing the password on your PC, we all agree. Currently, we all have, or a good number of us have WhatsApp on our PC, either as the app or via the browser. Am I right? And by simply bypassing your PC, I've gained access to your supposed end-to-end encryption. If you're sending email, by gaining access to your PC, I've gained access to all of those conversations. So as much as possible, for our own safety and security, whatever you do not want to be publicly shared on the internet, please don't transmit via the internet. Are we together? I hope that answers that question. Any other question? Internet is being monitored, yes. Monitoring the internet has some level of, to some degrees, not totally, but as much as possible, you never can tell to what level. So to be on the safe side, don't deal in malicious, illegal, or sensitive personal data over the internet. Yes, any other question from this way before we go? All right, in the absence of none, thank you all for listening, and it's a pleasure sharing these tips with you today.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Victor, for that powerful message. So far, so good for the 3 topics we had for the breakout session. I don't know, is there any question from any of them? Okay. Okay, sir.
I'm sorry if I'm asking too many. My question to you is that we talked about data protection and so, and there are things we have done on the internet that before you go into filling in your data, you have to read a lot of pages. I don't know the technical name you called it. But in most cases, we don't have option. You just have to agree. So if you don't agree, you don't move forward. So I'm not saying we have to read through. Whether I read through or I don't read through, if I don't agree, I can't proceed. And I need to proceed to gain access. So to me, it's a log jam. What's your advice?
Okay, those are actually called privacy policies, right? Each of the day, it's like a must for every platform to put that on their website or on their platform. Now, to answer your question, when they say you must, even when you read it, right, and you reject, you can't proceed, right? That is, unless probably if you don't really want to use that specific platform, right, you just have to accept it, because there is no other way you can go past it without accepting it. Right? Unless if there is another different answer. Okay.
All right. So with privacy policies, a lot of times you will not necessarily be able to bypass it, but it gives you the consciousness of what that platform can do with your data. So it gives you the idea of the kind of data to supply to them as a result of you utilizing the platform. I don't know if you understand. Unlike when you don't have idea of what they do with it, then it also keeps them safe. If you come back tomorrow and be like, there's this saying that ignorance of the law is not an excuse. So if you come back tomorrow and be like, I provided you XYZ data, why did you give it to your partner, Mr. A, Mr. B, or company Z? They will simply refer you back to the policy that they said in their policy that they will be sharing your data with their sister company or whatever. And you agreed, so they are safe. You can no longer sue them. But you, at the point of reading it, if you see that option, that gives you that mental alertness that, look, whatever I'm sharing with these people has to be something that I will willingly want to let them transact with any other person based on what is in that policy document. And if you're not comfortable with it, you can simply reject. It's not a do or die thing, it's not by force. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you get that, Prof. Let me just add to that. Like I said, it's always good you go through the privacy policy, because there are certain things that what they call a data subject. A data subject is you and I that actually use these platforms. That their data subject rights, and like I can name like 5. We have the data access rights, data retention, data erasure, data limitation, data minimization. All these things are part of data subject rights. All these things now should be outlined in the privacy policy, letting you know that this is what they are doing, right? Data retention actually says we'll collect your data and we're going to retain it for maybe a period of 10 years. If after 10 years these people are still contacting you, that's a breach. You understand? They didn't actually keep up to their own policy. So you have the right to do whatever you want to do with them. So the policy there is for you to read it. If you feel you don't like any clause in it, please reject, right? Just decline. I mean, that is just the best thing for you, so that you don't put yourself in a quagmire and you start asking yourself, why did I do this? Especially when it comes to sexual orientation. You know, in Nigeria, here we are very, very straight people. It's either this or this, not any other. So if they bring clause that, oh, we are going to do this on this and that, those are very sensitive issues. If you feel you don't want to, please, you can reject. Okay, I hope I've driven home the point. Is there any other question? I know you guys want to go, and well, at this juncture, right, we're actually at the end of this program, right? I will thank you guys for being a very good audience. What? Gentle. Okay. You've been a good audience, and I will use the opportunity to thank you. And I believe when we call on you again, you will still come, right? For the refreshment that I mentioned earlier, we're having a kind of delay. So those of you that are still on campus, we will deliver them to you personally, either in your classes or it will be at the reception, so you can just go and get it. So please tell your colleagues that have left that option is still very, very much open, right? We'll not keep you here and get you all weary from our own talk. But I just want to believe that we have all gotten something here today, right? No matter how little, please, no knowledge is a waste. I always say that. What you feel is not important now, you'll be surprised in the next 5 to 10 years. It pops up again and you now said, oh, these guys came and had this talk with us. If you have a very sound memory, this will hit back to you. But you might not probably remember everything we've said. You now have to start reading. So sometimes these talks are not just waste, right? So thank you very much, and see you some other time. On behalf of Young Innovators and Nigerian Computer Society, Abuja chapter, thank you, and thank you. Have a nice day.
But there should also be a group photograph for all of them.
Hello, please, can you let us take a group photograph, please? Please. No, I think this will not take your time. Just a few photographs. All right, thank you. Let us come there for good photos. Quickly.
Tala ƙafafuwa haka ne. Na condition
No, don't worry.
You're taller. You're taller. So.
What about now? Thank you. Take.
See, Mr. Chairman is just here, so let's not begin. Don't have coordinator. Please. Our Mr. Chairman is always smiling like a politician.
Thank you very much. I don't know how we're going to do
That's what Sasha assistant. You want to disconnect? I'm good, sir. No problem. Yeah.
Can I have a shot? Just one shot.
How far? Zagni Pumpkin. Prof.